day. Go ahead and show me your screen one more time real quick, everybody. I'll try and go fast without going too fast. So in real life, this would be pronounced project, but it also, there's another word, so screen face meal, which is a lazy vowel. It's project. So everyone say project. Project, yeah. So when we're talking about projecting, we're basically talking about throwing your voice. Right now, I'm wearing this microphone that is specifically made it so I don't have to project my voice. That the technology of these classroom mics, there's actually a bunch of speakers up in the ceiling, and I can talk at a normal level, and it's meant to be able to hit every single corner of the room without me having to do anything different. If I turn off my mic, I all of a sudden have to focus much more on projecting my voice or throwing my voice farther. People in the back row, give me a thumbs up. Can you actually hear every word I'm currently saying? Good, that's because I know what I'm doing and I know how to project. But it does take a little bit of time and effort, except for like our theater experts. Like you guys do this a lot. But I have to be able to speak loud enough for a whole room to hear. And like I've told you many times, it's the #1 complaint for judges. So many kids think they're talking loud enough, and they're not. They need to project way more. So there's a couple of things that make it better. #1, when we're talking about projecting, we are not talking about yelling. Projecting your voice and yelling are two different things. I'm speaking louder, and a lot of it is using stomach muscles and breathing techniques so that I can force the sound waves to travel further. That's why the picture is kind of sound waves. So, let's think about the science really quick of projecting. On top of your ribs, you have a huge chunk of muscles that's called your diaphragm. So if you think of your ribs, you've got all these muscles on top of them, and you don't have to think about your diaphragm muscles, just like your heart, you don't have to think about it beating. Your diaphragm muscles sometimes contract and expand, and that's what makes you breathe, right? But there's a couple of things with your diaphragm. So first of all, if you are ever hunched over like this, your diaphragm muscles are having a much harder time, so it's really important to really think about your posture. And a lot of you are starting strong. When we were doing lots of practice rounds in the cafeteria, you were starting strong, but then you lose it. You lose that posture. So, whatever you need to do to remember, maybe have a sticky note on the desk while you perform, or put it a little, I don't know, something on your timer of don't forget posture. Whatever you need to do to stand up straight the whole time. That's really important because we don't want your diaphragm muscles to have to fight. So the next thing, same with your chin. If your chin isn't level to the floor, it makes it a lot harder to talk. The muscles in my throat all of a sudden have to work way harder if I don't have my chin level to the floor. I like thinking of posture as what I call pulling the string. So my choir teacher way back when taught us this, and it's the most helpful trick for me. Imagine somebody attaches a string right here on the crown of your head, and if somebody, try and kind of pretend that you're doing this. If you pull that string, it just elongates your spine. It takes all the pressure off your spine. When you go ahead and try it, pretend someone just pulled that string like you're a little puppet, woof, right? And so it looks a little bit militaristic, but it also makes you look more powerful. Plus it makes it a lot easier for you to use all your stomach muscles and think about your diaphragm. So again, the idea is that we're almost flexing our stomach muscles so that we can push more air out. So again, these sound waves can travel farther. And breathing really affects projecting, and posture really affects how well you can breathe. So the big no-no is shoulder breathing. A lot of people are really self-conscious and they're like, I don't want my stomach to move because it makes me look bigger than I am. But that's actually where breathing happens. So if you're ever taking a big breath and your shoulders move, try it right now. Take a big deep breath and make your shoulders move. Okay, now take a big deep breath and actually make your stomach go out a little bit. Ready? Huge difference. That's where your lungs are, and that's what makes it more likely to get in more air. So if you're ever breathing with your shoulders, you're not actually getting in more air. So I'm going to show you, there's a lot of little videos like this on the internet. I'm going to show you this guy who's a college professor for public speaking. There's a lot of drills. If you notice you're not really good at doing something like pacing, or that you're not really good at projecting, you can look at drills to make you better. But this is an example of a voice drill to help you project better. And then we'll be done. And this seems a little silly, but he's an expert.
We're going to do a video presentation for your voice drills. Again, you got the assignment, and this is going to be voice drill number 1. I want you to remember again that you want good posture. So imagine that string on top of your head, like a puppet, and that string is being gently pulled up. That way, when you're standing, you're not going to be. You don't want to be slouched down like this. You want to make sure your neck is up and your throat is clear so that you can project much further. All right? Speaking, you can speak effectively and with greater intensity. The next thing you want to, again, imagine you're projecting your voice across the street. So you're not going to be yelling. You're just going to be projecting and forcing more energy and more air out of your lungs so that people can hear you all the way at the back of the row. Then the other thing I want you to keep in mind is that your breathing has to be concentrated on or thought about. You don't want to breathe haphazardly. So again, what I'm
like if you've just run to your round from another round, take a second and literally ask the judge, can I please catch my breath so that I can actually talk loud enough for you to hear me? Say it like that, and of course they'll say yes.
Before in class is that you want your breathing to come from your diaphragm and not from your chest. So when you're breathing, your shoulders should not be moving up. This is an example of bad breathing. What you want to do is breathe through your diaphragm, so your stomach should be moving in and out, and your shoulders should be staying steady. So that's want my abdomen to be going in and out.
I promise, it's only you thinking about your stomach moving. No one else is focused on that, for real.
That's the kind of breathing that I want you to see. All right, so put your tape recorder down.
So
and
here comes the drill in just a second.
We'll be doing the breathing exercises, and we're going to be doing the counting, and make sure, again, that you're relaxed, you're comfortable. Take some time out.
Take a second to kind of reset.
To just to relax. After you relax, now you're standing. I want you to count to 5.
This is pretty weird,
in
but
one breath.
hold on.
Okay, ready? Inhale.
You don't have to do it
again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So if you're the kind of person who naturally doesn't feel confident with speaking louder, you could do more drills like this. So let's do it together. Everybody stand up really quick because we're going to make it easy for to actually breathe. And you're going to check with a couple of things. Number 1, is my chin level to the floor? Number 1, pull the string. Everybody pull the string. Okay, you're going to take a big deep belly breath, and then we're going to try and throw our voice as loud, as far as we can. Ready? Okay, so big deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you really feel like your muscles kind of contracting, you're good. You can sit. That's how you project better. Okay, so everyone think about your you try box on that one. You can go ahead and stop recording.